We're going to start today's practice coming into a comfortable seated position of your choice. You're taking chair poses, you're coming out of your chair, your back against the back, your feet flat on the floor. Your shoulders start to relax. And if you're on the ground, you can come into a crisscross applesauce if you'd like, or send the legs out long, or you can give a bend to the knees and let the arms rest on them. No matter where we're at, though, we're starting to settle in here. Maybe closing your eyes or simply softening your gaze. Letting your breath become a little more intentional, a little smoother around the edges. Breathing in deeply, filling your lungs. And then exhaling fully, letting the air release. As we start to settle in here, we'll take a moment to notice the sensations, physical, mental, or emotional, throughout the body. We'll take that intentional breath as we allow those areas to start to settle down a little bit by acknowledging them, breathing and sitting with them, giving them just a little bit of space. Your next exhale, see if you can soften your shoulders just a little bit more. Letting your fingertips find a relaxing, natural curl to them, wherever they're resting. Maybe imagining the spine straightening just a little on each inhale. And that you're grounding into your seat with each exhale. We'll start to focus in on that breath itself, noticing the inhale and where it comes in, whether it's the nose or the mouth. And then following the breath until the exhale, feeling as the air glides across your lips or your nose. We exhale it all away. And with that same focus and attention to detail, we'll start to equal out our in-breath and our out-breath. Maybe you want to add a count, counting the inhale and then matching the exhale as you settle into the equal breath. Or maybe you find it a little more naturally without a count, but just allowing the inhale to match the length of the exhale. And today we'll try to focus on this breath throughout our practice. We'll take it for a few rounds here while we're in our grounding meditation time, but then throughout your practice, call it back. Let it be your focus as you move through your body. Today I want to talk about living out loud. Because we can live without hesitation. We can live boldly and be ourselves and let our own world see us living out loud. I've come to realize that holding back any part of myself does no good to me or anyone else in the long run. We can't let things fester, for they will manifest in our bodies in a myriad of ways. And it lives on in some way, shape, or form. So when you want to say something, say it. If you're feeling a feeling bubbling up inside you, let it feel its way through, knowing that this too will pass. On days when I feel trapped in my own head, I turn some music on and I dance like no one's watching. And this helps me feel better every time. So as we continue with those equal breaths for just a few more cycles here, take a moment to sense what your soul wants in this moment. And without hesitation, give yourself permission to do it. Let your soul sing and express itself every day. Wonderful job. Now go ahead and let your breath start to find its natural rhythm. And we'll take a moment to offer ourselves a little bit of gratitude that we took time out of our busy day to have a little fun and move our bodies and sway or anything else that our bodies need in this moment. And then when you're ready, we'll start to wiggle fingers and toes. We'll flutter the eyes open, and we'll start to add some gentle movement to our practice. Now in our practice today, we're going to have a little bit of a theme of trying to find the dance of the movement, a little bit of flow from one movement to the next. You can use our breath to help us get there, but really allowing yourself to just be yourself while you move today. If you're sitting in the chair, go ahead and come up to the edge of the chair, lengthening the spine. If you're seated on the floor, we'll all come into that crisscross applesauce position with the right leg in front of the left leg, or if you had the right leg in front before, go ahead and switch it and put the left leg on the other side. And seated in the chair, we're going to cross our ankles too, right leg on top, just at the ankles. We're going to lengthen through our spine, and then let's take our right hand down, or our left hand down towards our right knee. So whatever leg is on top, we'll take the opposite hand to it. We'll begin to hold anywhere along the leg, all the way down to the knee, and then we'll start to twist and lean our left shoulder towards that knee, a little bit or a lot. And then start to walk your right hand towards your hip, maybe towards a prop behind you, like your chair, or even lift it up in the air high above the head if that feels good. Getting a nice twist through the spine here. You can even allow your gaze to follow that lifted hand or that back hand. We'll take one more breath here. Exhale, start to release, bring the torso back through center, and then we'll take that on the other side. Taking our left hand, our right hand to our left knee, and then starting to dip the shoulder towards your left knee and walk that right left hand behind you, or maybe lift it high in the air. Maybe letting the gaze follow once again. Exhale fully as you release back through center. From here, we're going to move into a hero or a half hero's pose. So on the floor, we move into that full heroes, bringing the soles of the feet together, the knees together, maybe bringing a prop like a block or a pillow under the hips, maybe tucking or untucking the toes. And sitting up tall through the spine. From our chair, we'll start with the right side, bringing the right hip off of our chair and then starting to walk the foot back, letting that knee drop towards the floor. Getting a nice opening through that quadricep, no matter where you're at. We'll go ahead and take our right hand. We'll let it come down by our right hip. Now you can hold on to your leg, you can hold on to your bum, you can hold on to the chair if that's there. And then start to allow your left ear, the opposite ear, to come down towards your shoulder. You can leave your left hand for support on the ground or the chair, or you can start to circle it around, letting the weight of your hand add a little extra oomph into the stretch through the neck. Maybe start to settle back into that equal breath here as your focus. Exhale to release. And then if you're on the chair, let's switch over to the left side, bringing that left hip off and taking that left foot back. We're in our hero's pose on the other side. And if you're on the floor, you're going to keep your legs the same, but this time we'll start to send the left hand down towards the floor, the hip, or anywhere else that makes sense in our body. And then we'll start to drop the right ear towards the shoulder. And maybe circle that right hand around, adding just a little weight. We're not pulling, we're not tweaking, we're just letting it gently open up through the left side of our neck. Finding that maybe equal breath. Exhale to release, bring the spine back to neutral, and then bring the hands to a prayer at heart center. And let the fingers interlace, and then take the knuckles under the chin and slightly guide the chin up as much as feels good to open through the front of the neck. Again, just adding a little pressure, opening up, not forcing anything. Exhale, bring the chin back to neutral. The hands stay in the position they're in. Then start to circle overhead if that's available in your body, letting the hands come to rest in behind the head. And if that's too much, you can bring the hands out wide like a W. And then with our next exhale, we'll start to bring our chin down towards our chest. Maybe even the elbows start to come in towards each other as we stretch through the back of our neck. Being mindful not to round through the spine here, but instead finding a straight spine and then a stretch through the back of the neck. Maybe feeling it a little in the shoulders as well. Last breath here, we'll open up, release the hands. And then let's come to the center of our space and take our legs as wide as feels good. Keeping a bend in the knees or starting to press the legs out long and straight. We'll lengthen up through our spine. And with an exhale, find a little hinge here, bringing your torso down towards your legs. You can have your hands on the floor or on a prop. You can keep them high on your legs if that feels good. Getting a nice gentle stretch through the lower back here. Opening through the hips, the inner thighs. Press into your hands, bring it back up to a straight spine. Inhale, circle arms, reach them up high. Exhale, bring them down through heart center. Let your hands rest on your knees, and we'll take just a couple of seated cat counts, pulling the heart forward, lifting the gaze and chin, rolling the shoulders back. And then on your exhale, we round the spine towards the back of the room, tuck chin to chest, curl those shoulders towards your ears. And take this movement with that equal breath, matching your breath to your movement. We start to get everything warmed up here before we start our dance. One last breath there. Great job. Let's go ahead and come on up to standing. Now we're gonna keep our props close today. So maybe you're using a chair, high or low. Maybe you're using a block. Today I don't have a block, so I'm using a box puzzle, but it's about the same size as a block. So we'll just make sure whatever we have that we're gonna need is close by for when we get into our more flowy parts. To start things off, we'll come into our mountain pose, letting our hands rest by our side. And then let's step the right foot back just about a foot behind the other foot, giving us a little bit of a balance challenge here. Maybe lift the heel. You could always leave that heel down if that feels more stable. As we inhale, let the arms float up. Now you can keep both hands up, or you can always keep one on your prop. And then with our exhale, we're going to lean towards the left. Inhale, bring it back through center. And with an exhale, hinge into your forward fold, letting your arms go wide as you circle down towards your prop of choice. Again, chair or block, anything is a great option. Get a little forward fold here, noticing how that feels throughout your body. And then let's begin to walk your hands over towards the left side of your space, twisting this forward fold just a little bit. Inhale to come back through center. Step that back foot in. Bend the knees, sink the hips, roll it back to your tall mountain. Exhale, hands through a prayer. Release them by your sides. Let's step that left foot back. Inhale, let the arms float up. Lean to the left, right. Inhale through center. Our exhale swan dives us into our forward fold. Hands resting on our prop of choice. This time we're going to walk our hands to the right side of our space. Whether that's just moving it along the chair or moving the prop itself is up to you. Great job. Bring your hands back through center. Step that left foot in. Inhale, halfway lift. Engaging your core, gaze stays down. Exhale, hinge and fold. Bend the knees, roll it up. Start to find that flowing movement. Inhale, circle arms up. Tall mountain. Our next exhale, we're going to take our arms wide like a T, and then we're going to bring our right arm under our left arm. We're going to hold on to our arms or maybe our shoulders, or maybe we start to bring the backs of the hands or the front of hands, or even a strap in between the hands as we find our eagle arms. And for just a moment, we're going to start to bend the knees in the chair pose while we're in our eagle. And then drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Bring the neck through neutral and drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Our inhale straightens the legs, releases the bind, arms circle up, tall mountain, straight spine. Exhale, arms come to a T. Let's bring the left arm under the right arm, find our eagle arm of choice. Exhale, bend through the knees, sit in your chair pose. Drop the right ear to the right shoulder. Exhale through center. Left ear to left shoulder. Inhale to release to tall mountain. Feel that length and extension. Exhale, swan dive into your forward fold. Nice generous bend in your knees. Top of the head reaching towards the floor. Press into your hands as we halfway lift. Find that core engaged, the little bit of stamina you're building here. Exhale, hinge and forward fold. From here, we're going to step the right foot back, back, back as we open the hips for a warrior two. We're going to spiral the arms open and bend through that front knee. Feel that length and extension as we start to find our flow, start to find our dance. On the first side, I'll go a little bit slower, and the second side, you'll know where we're going. So we inhale, we'll take one more breath in our warrior two, maybe dipping that front knee just a little bit deeper, making sure our hips are open to the side. And then let's pinwheel our arms for a side angle. You can let your hand or elbow rest on your prop as high or low, or your knee, as we start to send our backhand up overhead or alongside the ear. Great job. From here, we're going to keep our hand planted on whatever prop we've chosen, and then start to lift your back heel off the ground. Maybe even start to pop the toes off, and maybe even come into a half moon pose. So we'll start to maybe lift those toes up towards hip height. Keep a bend in your standing knee. Great job. One last breath here. Then our top hand is going to circle down to meet our bottom hand as we turn our hips towards the floor, keeping that back leg lifted a little or a lot. We come into standing splits. Now with standing splits, we want to keep our hips parallel to the ground, but we pull with our heel up as high as feels good. Now this is a little bit of a dance here as we start to straighten the spine and we pull that extended leg in front of us for a standing staff. You can keep it at a half staff with the knee bent, or you can straighten the leg in front of you for a full staff. You can even rest your leg on a prop for a little more support here. Beautiful job. We'll take one or two breaths here, noticing the sensations of the body. And then let's start to sweep that foot back behind us, maybe towards our hip. And maybe we start to capture the foot or ankle or pant leg, or just bring that heel close to the hip as we can. Taking it into a quad stretch, and then allowing that knee to come just a little bit back further behind the standing leg. You want to add a little bit of a hinge forward, you can do that as well, but it's not necessary. You want to send your opposite arm out long, you're always welcome to do that, letting it hang in the air or bringing it to a prop for support. Great job. Now, as gracefully as you can, go ahead and set that foot down. Beautiful job. Mountain pose. Inhale, circle arms up and overhead. Second side. Exhale, hinge into your forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. See if you can find that equal breath and start to make a little bit of a dance of the movements, however that feels to you. Exhale, hinge and forward fold. Step the left foot back this time as we pinwheel the arms to warrior two. Bending through the knees, hips open to the side, squeezing those shoulder blades. You're doing a great job. Feel your breath. Exhale, pinwheel the arms, side angle of your choice. Leaving your right hand where it is or bringing it to a lower prop. We start to lift that back foot up a little or a lot, maybe only the heel. Maybe the toe rises to about halfway lift. Maybe it rests on a prop. Your arms are in a straight line from the hand resting on your prop all the way to the hand lifted in the ceiling, towards the ceiling. Our next exhale, start to drop that top hand, bringing your hips to neutral towards the ground. We'll take our standing splits, lifting from the heel a little or a lot. Follow your breath out as you inhale, start to rise, bringing that back foot forward. Standing staff or half staff. A little bit of a balance challenge. Find a spot on the floor that's not moving. You're doing great. Exhale, swing the heel behind you. Find your quad stretch. And either staying up tall and starting to move the knee back just a little, or finding a bit of a hinge and taking the knee back a lot. Beautiful job. Exhale to bring it back through center. Release that leg. Come into your mountain pose. Beautiful job. Take any movement you need, maybe shake or wiggle. That was a beautiful dance today. We'll go ahead and come to a wide-legged pose. The heels out and the toes, or sorry, the heels in and the toes out. We'll lengthen through the spine, start to send the arms out for 5-pointed star. We'll then let the hands circle towards each other in a prayer, bringing it through center and allowing our hands to rest by our sides. Let's take a little bit of a wide-legged washing machine. So you bend through the knees as you let the hands circle by the hips. And you can go fast or slow. Twisting through the torso, finding a little bit of that dancing, maybe even. Making it a little fun. You can even shorten your stance if you need more stability. Maybe the hands come up high, or maybe they stay low by the hips. Maybe they kind of touch the body as you agitate your washing machine here. Agitate all those feelings, agitate all those sensations. Couple more moments. And then start to settle into stillness. The hands resting by the sides. And then let's bring them towards our hips. We'll bring the heels in if they came out a little bit. Maybe even shorten your stance just a little bit. And then start to bend into the knees and sink into the hips, coming into a horse stance. Now start to play here, maybe rocking from side to side, maybe some bouncing, maybe heels lifting or toes lifting, or moving between any of these options or making your own. Maybe find a little dance here. Find a little movement that feels good. Maybe shoulders come up towards the ears. You're doing great. All right, settle back into stillness and bring your hands to a prayer for just a moment. Inhale, circle arms up, 5-pointed star, straightening the legs. Start to put the heels behind the toes. And then with our next exhale, circle the arms wide as you hinge into a forward fold. You can have a little bend in the knees or start to work the legs straight here. Then you can keep your hands where they are, or you can grab opposite elbows, but find a little sway from left to right. The next time you're towards the right, go ahead and pause there and bring a little bend into that right knee. And then come back through center. Put a little bend into your left knee. Come back through center. Take this at your own, left to right. Beautiful job. Come back through center. Knees are straightened. Pressing into our hands, we halfway lift and then we engage our core. Send our arms out to a T. Pause here. A little strengthening in our abdominals as we let the arms circle alongside the ears. Really lengthening out. And then with your next exhale, circle them back towards your hips, palms face down, airplane arms. Inhale, circle arms up, tall mountain. Go ahead and step the feet into mountain pose. And with our exhale, bring your hands down to your heart in a prayer. We're going to keep the hands at this level, start to open them up into a W. Squeeze the hands back so your shoulder blades are starting to kiss behind the spine. And then push your heart forward and maybe start to lift your gaze. Baby back bend. Exhale, straighten and bring it forward. Push those hands back to a prayer. Inhale, opening back up. We'll move between these two at your own pace, matching your breath to your movement. Little back bend. Exhale to a straight spine. Beautiful. One more. Exhale, bring it through center. And then release the hands by your hips. All righty. We're gonna work with that outer shoulder just a little bit more by taking our right arm across our torso, holding it with our left hand. And you can hold anywhere from the hand, the wrist, even the elbow. Or if you like, you can rest. You can take the arm across your body and then rest that hand on your shoulder and then start to pull with that left hand. So lots of different options here, but we're stretching through that outer shoulder. As we inhale, we're going to circle the hand overhead to release it back by our hips. And then let's take the left hand across the body, finding whichever option for the left arm that feels good, as we use the right arm to gently open that right left shoulder. Great job. Inhale to circle the hand out to the side, up and around. All right, we're back in our mountain pose. We're going to grab our hands and interlace those fingers. And then we're going to start to take our arms up overhead in a circular motion, and then take it down towards your hips, ankles, and knees, whichever feels good, and then take it back up. So kind of like sunflower, but a slightly more open arm position as you circle around. Your feet are as wide as they need to be to offer you as much stability as you would like in this moment. Move as fast or as slow as you start to dance through your circle. The next time the arms reach the top, the pinnacle, pause and then start to take your circle in the opposite direction. The next time the arms reach the top, pause there. Exhale, cactus the arms. Inhale, bring the hands back to your center, prayer pose. And then release into your mountain. One last standing balance challenge. From our mountain, we're going to take our right foot, we're going to step it back like we did at the beginning. Now you can come just directly back, come up onto that toe or the heel, whatever feels good. Or for a little more of a challenge, bring it towards center so your feet are back in front of each other, or even cross that leg behind the other leg. As we inhale, we circle arms up. And always leave the same hand as the front leg on your prop or your hip, or leave both hands overhead. But we're going to start to lean towards the side of the front leg. Standing dancers. Inhale to bring it back through center. Exhale, let the arms come down. Next side, let's try second side. Step the foot back. Put it in line or cross it, whatever feels best for your body. Inhale, start to circle one or both hands overhead, and then lean towards the side of the foot, of the front leg. Great job. Inhale back through center. Step it through. We're going to use those same principles, but this time step the right foot back for a high lunge. We're in our high lunge, we're squeezing our thighs together, we're engaging our core. Our hands can be on our hips, prayer. Maybe we lift them up in the air. Maybe we have one resting on our prop of choice. And there's a generous bend in that back knee as we're taking this. All right, we're going to add just a little bit of a twist here, bringing your opposite hand to that front knee, and then taking the front hand towards the back of the room. Inhale to bring it back through center. We're going to take the same hand as the front leg. You can either put it on the front leg, you can bring it to a prop outside of your hip, whether that's high or low, or even a block way down there. You can come down to the knee. That feels good for you. We're going to take it into a side bend in that direction. Great job with the straighten of both legs. We come up through center and then hinge over that front leg a little or a lot. Go ahead and bring that back leg forward, coming into our mountain pose. As we set up for side two, we step second leg back. We find our lunge of choice, high or low, deep or shallow. Knees are bent, core is engaged, thighs are pulling in. It's a very active pose. Exhale, twist it towards the front leg. Bring it back to center, dropping a hand to the front leg's hip, leg, or a prop outside of that foot leg, and then start to take it into your side bend. Great job. Bring it back through center. Straighten both legs. Exhale and hinge over that front leg a little or a lot. Inhale to rise. Step the back leg in. From here, we're going to come back into our seated wide leg position of choice. So again, you're in the chair. You're sitting on the edge. Your knees are wide. You can have your knees bent or step the legs out long and pull the toes back towards the heels if that's your practice. Same thing on the floor. Knees can always stay bent or start to lengthen out. But no matter where we're at, we're engaging our core. We're sitting up tall. And then let's begin to let the arms circle overhead. Maybe you interlace the fingers and point the pointer fingers. And then with our next exhale, drop those pointed fingers towards your right knee or toes. Let it skirt towards the ground and then over towards your left toes. And bring it back through center. Take it at your own pace. And then reverse it. Go ahead and pause. Exhale, release the arms. If you're on the ground, we're going to take our left leg and we're going to tuck it on the inside of our right thigh, letting the knee fall out to the center. If you're in the chair, we're going to simply walk that knee back into alignment with our hip. So we still have one leg extended, but this knee is bent. You can either keep the foot on the floor for more stability or let it fall to the side and the knee open a little bit if that doesn't feel too unstable for you. We're going to drop our left hand by our left hip on the floor or on the chair. We're going to start to circle our right hand up and overhead. And as we pause here, we're going to start to take some shoulder circles, circling that top arm around and around as we explore that shoulder. And then reverse it. All right, let's bring it back through center, switching sides. Left leg extends, right leg comes into the bent knee position, maybe rolling to that outer edge of the foot. Or letting the foot rest on the thigh. We bring the right hand down by the right hip and then start to circle the left hand up and over. Once you feel stable here, start to circle through that top arm. And then reverse it. Great job. Go ahead and bring it back through center and extend both legs long into a seated staff. Knees bent or straight, it's up to you. We're lengthening our spine, sitting up really tall. And then let's all bring a bend into our knees, letting the heels rest. And you can either have the feet down for support or the toes up for just a little bit more challenge. And we're going to take our left shoulder towards our right knee. You can hug the knee or hook the knee or just rest it on the knee. And we're going to take it into that twist from the beginning of class as we lift the right arm back behind us. Great job. Bring it back through center. As we start to take the right hand towards that left knee, again, capture, hook, or just rest, and then take the left hand back behind you. Well, we've had a beautiful dance today. Let's find a restorative pose to end our class as we unwind our spine. We're gonna take a pillow or a bolster, whatever you have. And we're gonna bring it into our space. From the mat, you're gonna bring it down onto the floor. You're gonna bring your right hip about 6 inches or so away from it and stack your knees to one side. Bring your hands on either side of the prop, twisting your torso towards the pillow. And then if you're in the chair, we're gonna bring it to the back of our chair. We're gonna bring our right hip towards the pillow. And we also will twist, placing a hand on either side of that pillow or bolster. And then with our next exhale, whether we're in the chair or on the floor, begin to lean yourself towards that bolster, maybe wrapping your arms around it, maybe stacking your arms and resting your head against it. This is a nice, juicy, restorative twist. We're going to hold this for just a few moments, allowing all that integration to flow into us from all that dancing we did today. Maybe we settle back into that equal breath. Noticing your heartbeat. Seeing if you can use that soft, gentle, equal breath to slow things down here. Beautiful job. There's nowhere else to be, nothing else to do. Giving yourself this moment. Because sometimes living out loud means simply giving yourself time to rest when you need it. Great job. Let's bring our hands back to either side of our bolster or pillow. Begin to press ourselves away and then take it on to second side. So as we do, we move the pillow or move our body, but we come onto the left hip. We stack those knees. We place our hands on either side of the prop we've chosen. And then as you're ready, you exhale and allow yourself to sink in the twist, sink into the prop, turning your head in whatever direction feels good so that you can let go. Don't force anything, just let nature happen as you twist and rest here. Go ahead and slide the hands on either side of your prop, pushing yourself back up to a straight position. And then unwind the spine as we come into our final resting pose of choice. As always, a corpse pose could be a great option, or maybe a constructive rest with the knees bent. Legs up the wall is always a great option. Maybe you stay in your chair, or maybe you move to someplace a little more comfortable. Maybe you add pillows or blankets. Maybe you add something to cover the eyes or some weight on the abdomen. But find a comfortable seated or laying down position that allows your body to soften into the support beneath you. Maybe you close your eyes, or maybe you simply soften your gaze as you come into a space where you can relax on command, settling into what stillness feels like for you in this moment. Take a deep breath in and fill your lungs entirely. And then exhale slowly, releasing any tension or worry as you let your breath guide you towards ease and tranquility. Feeling the gentle rhythm of your inhale and your exhale anchoring you here in this moment. You settle into your stillness, letting your body rest in the breath that finds its natural rhythm. A gentle inhale, a soft exhale, no effort, no holding back, simply allowing. Feel the earth beneath you, solid, steady, unwavering in its support as the ground does not hesitate to hold you. Now start to bring your attention to your feet or to the base of your spine, wherever feels most connected to the earth. Begin to imagine roots extending down, grounding you there securely, drawing strength and stability from deep within. As you breathe, visualize this connection growing, steadying your mind, nurturing your spirit. This grounding energy reminds you that you are safe, supported, and present. Now, as you continue to breathe deeply, shift your awareness inward. Feel the quiet hum of vitality within you. A soft, radiant light at the center of your being. This is your truth, your essence. Let this light gently expand outward, filling your entire body and surrounding you in warmth. Notice if there are any parts that feel quiet or held back, waiting. A thought unsaid, a movement restrained, a song caught in the throat. We are taught in small ways to shrink, to keep certain parts of ourselves in and hidden. But what we suppress does not disappear. It lingers. It waits. It finds a home in our bodies. So in this secure space, take a moment to consider what it means to truly live out loud, a step into your full self without hesitation, without holding parts of yourself back. Breathe deeply into this idea, letting it settle in your heart. If we suppress our truths, they may linger inside, growing heavy and stagnant, manifesting in our bodies as tension or unease or illness. But when we embrace them, when we dance with joy or sing from the depths of our souls, we reclaim ourselves. We breathe vitality into our being. Can you picture yourself living fully, unapologetically, moving, speaking, and expressing in ways that honor your unique spirit? And then breathe into that space, imagining that warm current of energy, of light, and of breath flowing into every place that you have held yourself back. No need to push, no need to force, just simple invitation. On your inhale, imagine expansion, your spirit stretching beyond its edges. And on the exhale, a soft release, a letting go of hesitation, of constriction. Can you picture yourself moving freely? Perhaps your body sways gently or your fingers twitch with rhythm. Perhaps a hum arises from your throat or a whisper of a song. Notice what your body wants to do in this moment. Trust it. Let yourself be breathed, be moved. Life is not meant to be held in. It's meant to be felt, expressed, and even lived. So as we come towards the end of our time together, take a moment to appreciate the time you've dedicated to nurturing yourself today. Feel gratitude in your body and breath for your courage to explore authenticity, or maybe for the grounding energy of this meditation. Carry the sense of release, joy, or balance with you as you step back into your day. And remember, on the days that you feel trapped in your head, you can always reconnect to your essence by moving in a way that feels authentic to you, by dancing or singing or simply breathing or walking. You hold the power to live fully and freely. And when the mind loops and tightens, remember this moment, the breath, the body, the movement waiting to be let out. Dance, sing, walk, shake it out. Let yourself spill into the world. We'll take in our deepest breath of the day so far. And then as you're ready, gently start to bring movement back into your body, rolling through the fingers and toes, stretching if it feels good, and then fluttering the eyes open and coming back to an upright position in your own time and in your own way, facing me. Thank you so much for joining today. Until next time, thank you.